Welcome to Grappler Union podcast is brought to you by Fight Chicks. That's CHIX. Use the promo code UNION at checkout to save 20% off all your MMA and jiu-jitsu apparel. Go to fightchicks.com today. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Grappler Union podcast. Paul Maloney alongside Anthony Zito. On this episode, we have Taylor Biagi in studio. Taylor is a purple belt under Mark Vives, and she's a 4-time Pans No-Gi champion. Enjoy.
The 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. Taylor Biagi's in the house. Thanks for doing this, Taylor.
Thank you for having me.
So you're missing training tonight to be with us?
Yes, I am.
We appreciate that. What is your training schedule like? Do you train every day?
I do. The holidays have been a little bit, I've been kind of lazy, honestly. Everybody's posting like, oh yeah, Christmas training, like, can't stop, won't stop. And I'm not going to lie.
You stopped.
I stopped. I spent a lot of time with family and laying around and doing nothing. I consider it healing my body and, much needed rest.
Sure.
Yes, that's a good way to justify it.
It is. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, someone who you compete a lot and you train basically 7 days a week, 6 days a week. Do you do 2 a days? What's your?
I'm really bad at like planning and sticking to a very strict training schedule, but I do take 1 day off a week completely at least. I kind of listen to my body, and sometimes I'll take another day if I need to. And then I'd say I make it to 2 to 3 days a week.
Wow.
If I can, yeah.
So are you a full-time athlete?
I consider myself to be. I didn't count up. I was going to sit there and count up all the tournaments I did this year, but I didn't end up doing that. But I do have like a stack of non-gold medals and on my wall up another like 10 golds from this year alone. Mm-hmm. So I think I want to guess I did between 15 and 20 competitions in 2016.
Well, now that's full competitions, not including because you do like special matches or like super fights as well, right?
I would include those.
Okay.
So I did one right before Worlds. Right before Worlds I did Respect 2 in St. Louis.
Okay.
Then I did Fight to Win, and I had another one recently in Detroit. So 3 super fights, and all 4 majors, Worlds and Pan Am's gi and no gi.
Wow. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
7.5 years.
Wow. And you're a purple belt?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So your start, because you look young. So how old were you when you started?
Oh, I just turned 26.
Okay, wow.
I actually started my first day of my freshman year of college when I was 18.
And what got you into it?
I had done a little bit of martial arts, like 2 months of judo and like maybe 6 months of boxing when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And when I was in college, I was on the lacrosse team, so I was in the field house where they have all the recreational clubs. And I just walked by the room and saw them training, like literally the day before school started, and was like I'd never seen it before, and I was like, I want to do that.
And bunch of sweaty guys rolling around, knees and stuff. Yeah, that looks interesting.
It's weird, but it was like literally love at first sight.
Really?
Like, mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had no problem with like the close contact like a lot of people or a lot of girls do. Right. I was like 100% for it, and I remember like showing my friends in the courtyard outside the dorm rooms like my moves I learned, like an armbar and stuff, and I went like every day and just super passionate right away about it.
What school was that?
University of Iowa.
Okay. So who'd you train under down there?
John Gutta. He's a black belt now under Mark.
Okay.
So we had a black belt from Brazil who came to visit Iowa once a year for family, and the club team was just a bunch of like white and blue belts. He started training there, and when he was a purple belt, Pedro Silveira, when he got his black belt, he basically would come and promote, and we wore his patch on our gi. But he ended up having difficulty coming, and he missed like a year or whatever. And John led the club. John taught me and coached the team. And when he had a lot of trouble coming up, we decided to switch affiliations. John picked Mark. And so when I graduated, I went with Mark.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm originally from Chicago, so I moved back here after I graduated.
Oh, nice.
Great. Yeah, and you've been at New Breed ever since? Yeah. Mark's awesome.
Yeah, he's a big competitor himself.
Yeah.
You do all that stuff that Mark does, like putting like 160-pound like steel pipes on your leg.
Oh, yeah.
He did that to me, actually. It's the most uncomfortable and yet like good feeling thing ever. Like,
really?
Yeah. He has 3 sizes of them. They're called the ex-wife, and the smallest one is like 90 pounds.
Right.
Which I think is a little probably too big for me, but he like lays you down and he like sinks it into your back, and then it's like just so heavy and you can't breathe, and he like it settles in to your body, and then you like work out your tense muscles.
And it works,
crazy.
huh?
Yeah, it does. It feels good after. But
yeah, I said I was gonna stop there and try that. I definitely want to stop by and try that.
Yeah.
And train as well.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely want to try that out because that really makes me think.
Yeah, going to the chiropractor and, getting your little tune-up, I don't
Right.
think is cutting it anymore.
Right. Well, I plan on doing a lot more gi stuff. So,
Okay.
like we were talking earlier, Andre, who you had on the podcast, I'm planning on visiting his school. So I just ordered a couple of gis.
okay, so
Okay.
you didn't have a gi?
I do have a. Here's a funny story. So, I was looking for a gi. I was looking for something to kind of like decorate the walls. So I found this like rare shoyo roll gi. It's called like Gray Skies or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I'll just get that. I'll frame it. It'll look cool on the wall,
Right.
And I ended up wearing it to a.
Oh, it's totally soiled now.
Yeah, it's
you can
it's
never
totally
hang it on
right.
the wall.
But I ended up wearing it to. We went to a seminar, and I'm like, I need a gi. I'm like, oh, I'll just wear that one. Turns out, I'm not an A1. I'm an A0. So this gi is like a lot. It's too big for me. Like the pants are like huge. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like belting them like twice around. I'm like, this thing's falling off me half the time. I'm like, okay. So I had to order two. I ordered 2 new gis. I ordered a War Tribe, which won't ship
Nice.
till February, and then a Tatami one.
Nice.
Which hopefully I'll get tomorrow.
Good
We'll
choices.
see. Yeah, I was looking for a Manto. Is that how you pronounce it? Manto.
Oh, Manto?
But they're all out of stock. I was like, oh, and then I don't know, like, cause the War Tribe one, the girl I was repping with at the seminar, she was wearing a War Tribe, and it fit. Like,
Yeah.
I could barely grab. Like I couldn't pistol grip her. I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "This is legal." I'm like, "Well, if that's legal, that's the one I'm gonna get." Because I couldn't really grab. It was very like fitted, and I like that. What do you wear? What's your gi?
I have a gi sponsor.
Oh, you do? Who's
yeah.
that?
BJJTs.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Subculture Kimono, also their sister companies. So
Okay.
I haven't had to buy a gi in a while.
Nice. That's good to be sponsored.
Those do run big though. And
Okay.
Like I get gripped up real good in them. So
Yeah. Now, do you get you can get them tailored, right?
I never have.
Okay.
I've always just swam in my gis. Just I'm small and short, and
Yeah.
so
You gonna get your gi tailored, Zito?
I'm not gonna if it's too big, and maybe I will. I don't know. Why not? I mean, what the heck?
they do.
I'm little.
They have like a lot of times, like if you're tall, they have like long, or then they have like, so maybe I would do like an A0 long or whatever to customize better.
Okay. But you haven't yet.
No, I just take what he gives me and
That's it. You're good to go. So when you first started training, you trained in gi, and then was there ever a transition to no gi, or that's just part of the training as
No,
well?
I've always trained both.
Oh, you always trained both.
And people always like think I'm a no-gi person, or like they're like, "Oh, you're a no-gi girl, right?" And I don't know why everybody thinks that. I think I win more no-gi.
That's
Just
it, 'cause
for some reason.
Mark says the same thing. He wins more in no gi.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I'm maybe my style. Like the gi, I used to not really be. I always liked the gi, but I never had really tricky grip system in my game.
Okay.
It was all like stuff that works for both, like my guards, X guard and butterfly guard.
Sure.
For the longest time, and I think it just like it just stylistically worked best with no gi.
Yeah.
Now, ever since like training with Mark, and we had like Matt Layton at our gym for a few years, the past couple years, I've learned a lot more tricky gi grips and all that. So maybe next year I'll win more in the gi again. But
Yeah. So how are your hands with the gi?
messed up,
They are, huh?
real messed up.
Is that something I can just look forward to?
I mean, I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
my knuckles.
Oh, yeah.
They're bad. And the cold weather just is like terrible too.
And there's nothing you can do for it. Like, do you wear tape? Does that help?
I do. I will almost refuse to train if I don't have my fingers taped up, because I've done it before. I've competed without tape if I couldn't find any, and just afterwards I feel like I think I have arthritis at like 26.
Really?
Whoa.
Like, it's bad. Yeah.
So is it from like broken fingers, or is it are they swollen? What is it?
So some of them I have bent and stuff. But the knuckles are all real swollen at the end because
Yeah.
I'm small, I train with big guys, and I'm holding onto the gi for dear life, and they're pulling away and ripping the grip off. And
Right.
Matt has these nasty tricks where he'll step on your hand to break the grip.
Oh God.
So
That's
it
a
just
thing, huh?
hurts. Yeah.
This
Just
is what I have to look forward to.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I'm in.
part of it. It's a sacrifice, I guess, for the sport.
So I was actually looking up today how to tape your hand properly. Now, do you tape your hand where you make this like X formation and like
No,
underneath?
Mark does that. I just take little tiny pieces and I just individually wrap right below the knuckle,
Okay.
and it just reinforces it, makes it a little, to me, like I don't know, less painful and a little stronger.
Yeah. So you don't do that whole like.
I don't know how to do that.
I was watching a YouTube video today about it, and I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I mean,
Mark does it.
I got to figure out how to do it. I ordered some tape today.
I mean, Jeff Serafin was telling us that he doesn't tape his fingers because he feels like you're creating a cast, and thus your fingers are not getting any stronger.
Yeah, he's an animal.
A lot of people.
he's
I've heard people say that.
He's a beast. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I got to work on computers all day. I need to type. I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah. You break your fingers, you're going to type like me with like the one thing.
It's true. I definitely will. So, full-time athlete? Do you have a job, part-time job, or this is all you do?
So I just spent a lot of time home with my family, and I had to talk about this a lot. I do have a degree from Iowa in health and human physiology that I don't use.
Okay.
I am a promo model part-time, and then I do probably as many hours a week training as I do working.
Okay.
So part-time for both, or full-time
Right.
for jiu-jitsu more
Yeah.
so.
Right.
I needed to do something. I wanted to do a job that was flexible for being able to take time off to travel for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So
So, promo model. So,
Yes.
do you work for an agency that they send you out
Correct.
on jobs and stuff like that? Okay. Like an ambassador type?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I sign up job by job basis,
Right.
and I get offered, almost at a moment's notice to work or not. So I can work it when I need to.
Any cool events you've worked at?
I've worked Nike trade shows, or like I
Okay.
did the Chicago Marathon for Nike. I like to do the sports stuff. I don't really like to do like the liquor
The club.
ones.
bar,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe she gets sponsored by Nike.
that'd be nice.
Yeah. Why not? Talk to them. Do they sponsor any jiu-jitsu artists?
I don't know. Not that I know.
I don't think Nike's
Not in the
making
game?
gis yet.
No?
No. I mean, they sponsored John Jones. I mean, I think they had and Anderson Silva. So
Right.
as far as the MMA world is concerned, they sponsored 2 athletes.
Right.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
Maybe I could have luck with Adidas, since
Yeah.
they're Adidas is
Are they
the one-
moving into the space?
I don't know, but I feel like it would be not that far fetched.
Yeah.
No Reebok though, huh? You're not a fan?
Oh, or Reebok, yeah, maybe. I don't really I don't really worry about that stuff too much.
No? Yeah, but getting sponsorships help? Do they pay for your travel and stuff like that as well?
Having a sponsor is really nice. To me, it's like a partnership. I like to represent, my sponsor and promote them. And in return, they help me out from time to time. They also promote me, and I get free gear.
Right.
So that's really nice.
So when you first started out in jiu-jitsu, you were younger. Did Mark, or how did that whole sponsorship and getting into competitions, how did it all pan out for you? Like where did it all come into play? Because you loved jiu-jitsu so much, you were doing it every day, and then it's like, hey, I'm going to start competing.
So definitely have to credit the competing thing to John. So John Gutta was a blue belt when I started, and he was making the trip out to Chicago for all the tournaments, every small one, the Nagas we went out for, and definitely led by him. And then so I started competing just to go along with him. He was like the leader of the team, and I was all for anything he suggested, and I was really bad. And they'd never had very many girls. They would lump us together. I would fight giants, and I would lose all the time. And when I was a white belt, and I didn't win like anything major or medal at any of the big tournaments until I moved to New Breed, because right when I moved, they had a team getting ready for the Pan Ams, and that I went with them for that. When I moved to New Breed, that's when I met my sponsor who trains there, and started to work with him slowly over time.
Okay, that makes sense. So the Pans is your favorite competition, like you were telling us off air, because you've won it so many times.
The Nogi Pans, yes.
The Nogi Pans, right. How many times have you won it?
I'm a 4-time Nogi Pan American champion, and 1 year I was double gold. So
wow.
the past 3 years.
How many matches do you do in one of those tournaments?
It really depends. I've had, so in the gi pans, which I've gotten, the furthest I've gotten in the gi pans was 5 I got to the finals, and I took silver, and I had that was my 5th fight, or 5th or 6th fight. Wow. So that's usually the most I'll have at a major. At like something like the Chicago Open, where they have gi and no gi, and I'll do my division and the absolute, I can have a lot more, like all weekend I can have 20 matches.
20 matches?
Sure.
Wow. And you do the absolute as well?
I'll do the absolute. I'll pick and choose if I'll do the absolute. Like at the Worlds or the majors, I won the absolute at blue belt no-gi. I've done absolutes that have been really rough for me though, with really big girls, and it's kind of a lot on my body.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of choosy about it.
Yeah. Now, do you find yourself, because the jiu-jitsu community for women seems to be a lot smaller than the men. So do you find yourself competing against the same amount of girls, same girls all the time you see at the competitions? You guys, is that type of situation?
Definitely, especially locally. We have a lot of the same girls from the Midwest that come out each time, but and in the higher level, the big tournaments, you see the same names a lot. But we're all training, getting better, and it's I've beaten girls and then lost to them, and I've lost to girls and then beaten them. Right. So it's not, to me, it doesn't bother me at all. I hear a lot of girls complain about that because it's the same person over and over, but for me, I'm constantly trying to evolve my game and improve, so it's always a different fight.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
As long as you keep training and getting better, you'll have a different game next year and so on and so forth. How long is your training camp? Do you have a training camp, or is it like, how's that spread out? Because each competition's, right, you guys train different rule sets, right? Yeah.
The majority of my tournaments are IBJJF.
Okay.
I have done super fights that were submission only. Actually, I forgot another group of super fights. I did the Kakudo out in Atlanta. I did that twice this year for super fights. There were EBI rules. I did 1 to 2 tournaments a month, I feel like. so I never really had any camps. The one camp I did do was I went to the Checkmat camp in Minneapolis, where Michelle Nicolini actually did her camp for her last year of Worlds. And that was a 3-week camp in Minneapolis with a big group of girls, from Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like the most official camp I've ever done. But other than that, I'm just always training and always cutting weight and always like getting ready for something.
Yeah. How'd you like the EBI rule set?
I strongly dislike it. I had a bad experience. My last match of the year at Modern Flow, I lost. After 10 minutes of being pretty dominant and being passing the guard and being in dominant positions for 10 minutes, it went to overtime when I didn't submit her, and I lost when she escaped my back control faster than I escaped hers.
Yeah, right.
It was the worst way to lose I've ever lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
That
see
is
that.
tough if you're dominating a match the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I was dripping in sweat, like trying so hard to like open her up. She was pretty fresh in the overtime, because defending sometimes is not as exhausting as trying so hard to open someone up.
Now, was that gi or no gi?
No gi.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Paul and I, when we started this podcast, we didn't really have, and we still don't, we're still learning, a lot about, the gi world. And I'm really excited to start, the 2017 year off training gi, and learning about the IBJJF. Because, my mindset when we came into this, we come from 10th Planet, but, in no means is this like a 10th Planet podcast. This is a Grappler Union podcast. So we want to bridge that gap between, no gi and your school and our school. It doesn't matter. I'll train anywhere. I'm not that type of guy who's like, oh, we're only doing this.
We do points only. We do sub only. Yeah.
No, I'm so after the Andre podcast, I'm so interested in learning more about and competing in the IBJJF rule set. It's just, we've been watching a lot more tape on it, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
It really is exciting.
It is for sure. I mean, and everybody, you talk to people and I don't like IBJJF because of this. And they're right, but they're also wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then you get IBJJF guys that are like, well, I don't like sub only because of this. And they're right, but they're also wrong. You know, there's benefits, there's pros and cons to both.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to choose a side. I'm just going to just do both.
Exactly.
I'm gonna compete at both, and like you said, like you're like, no, I don't really like the bag rule set, and that's I can totally see your point, because if I was doing a match and I'm competing and I'm smoking this guy, I'm just passing his guard, and he's just turtling up or doing whatever, and I'm working hard, and he beats me on like escape time because I'm so exhausted.
Yeah,
that would suck.
especially if you're an active IBJJF competitor,
right?
And that happens to you. That's a salty way to lose in a sub only match when like, okay, if this was in a different rule set, I would have beat you like 22-0. You know.
Also, I'll whatever my opinion is on what my preference, I'll never turn down opportunity to compete, and I think it's all fun and it's all challenging. It's in different ways, but what I don't get about the EBI, that situation, supposedly the 10 minutes didn't count because I didn't submit her, but in the overtime nobody was submitted either.
Right.
So I don't understand how that would determine the winner.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be submission only, but then I mean
then timed escapes.
To escape.
Yeah.
So it's got to end sometime.
Yeah. That's why I'm in favor for just go till it ends.
Yeah,
that's it.
Really,
no time
I would have
limit.
preferred that too.
Right. I mean, why not? Why not just go? Just let it go.
Also, it's
especially for finals. A finals match, that's it. Go.
Yeah, and being on someone's back, like, you better have earned that position. Also, I don't like having someone start on my back.
Right. A lot of people say that.
You never would have got there.
Never. Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's a lot of people say that.
But yeah, like Gracie Regionals does it.
Yeah, I did it.
The finals match is no time limit, and Zito won in the finals after a 26-minute match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm really not like a IBJJF or die type of like by any means. Like Mark was telling me, like, you don't need to say yes to everything, and if you don't like the style of the tournament, you don't have to do it. But like, I literally can't say no.
Yeah.
Have you done round robins before?
In IBJJF, I've done them, yeah.
Okay. Because Grappling Industries is a term that comes out, and that's their whole
Okay.
promotions,
So,
the round robin
Double
style.
elimination, or?
I don't know, actually.
I'm not sure.
I did something interesting. I think this is EBI style at Kakuto. Earlier this year, it was 3 people on each, Team A, Team B.
Okay.
And each person from Team A fought each person from Team B. And then the person with the most submissions or the fastest submission time or whatever they did would from each side went to the final.
Okay. Yeah.
So I did that. That was really fun. That was cool because you fought everybody in the other side of the bracket, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anyone that you have like I'm not gonna say you, like someone that you
A rivalry?
a rivalry or something like that? Do you have anyone like that out there?
It's so funny because I'm one thing I'm happy about that's just my nature is it's impossible for me to hate people I fight. So a lot of people can't be friends with people that they match up with. I've matched up with some of these girls for the past 7 years.
Right. Yeah.
Like Nikki Sullivan in Indiana.
Okay.
We match up all the time. We're so competitive with each other. We're literally exactly even in the amount of times we've beaten each other.
Okay.
And I want to beat her so bad every time. And we're still friends. Like she's stayed at my house before and came and to train. And I have a real competitive but still friendly relationship with a lot of these girls just from being around so long. There's so few of us.
That's cool. It's way better that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Why have animosity?
Right.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. Like even this girl who beat me in the EBI style tournament afterward, like I was so angry. I was so mad. I had all these, frustration feelings about the match and losing. But like literally, I still really like this girl, Sarah Stump. We have a good friendship, and we've been friends for years.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't change anything.
Yeah. I don't think it's possible for you to get mad. What would that look like?
It's funny. A lot of people who don't know me think I'm mean or angry person because when I compete, my face is like nothing.
I have that
nothing
too.
you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's got that, but he's got that all the time, even when he's
I
not
don't have that.
competing.
That's my concentration face.
Exactly.
It's your game face, huh?
I need to be concentrating. Like I can't be smiling. If I'm smiling, I'm probably not going to win because I'm like, I'm not in the right killer mindset.
Zito smiles a lot.
I smile a lot. Actually, I almost sometimes like burst out laughing during a roll.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun. I just can't contain myself. I'm just like, wow, this is great. Yeah, that's just So, your submission wise, what's your go-to submission?
I saw your fight to win match. You get your little leg locker, aren't you?
I'm trying to learn. It's just what I'm working on right now, really. That's why.
Yeah.
And then I want to I want it to work so badly, but I'm still not a very good leg locker. I'd say by far I win most by choke from the back.
Okay.
Yeah, this is probably a good opportunity to mention Saturdays at noon at 10th Planet Chicago. Javier Palomo teaches a leg lock club for 2 hours, and he's one of the top guys in the area for legs.
Yeah.
I mean, he teaches privates to black belts,
That's awesome.
on the regular, and anyone can just stop by 10th Planet at noon, and it's just 2 hours of nothing but leg locks, leg lock drills, leg lock flows. I mean,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a seminar every
it's
week.
basically a seminar
Yeah.
every Saturday.
Yeah. It's improved. I mean, I've been doing leg locks now since Leg Lock Club started, over a year and whatever, 14, 15 months ago. And that's like my bread
That's
and butter
awesome.
right now. I'm starting to work on my upper game a lot.
Yeah.
I still have a
Upper
good
body?
upper body. The whole jiu-jitsu package. But
Yeah.
for sure, leg locks is, I'm definitely more dominant in those.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. They never, they don't show a lot of them in normal classes because white belts can't do them,
Yeah.
but it really is like a world in and of itself and opens up a whole nother like dimension of jiu-jitsu.
Sure. The only thing that makes me nervous about getting into the gi and getting into the IBJJF real set is because I'm so used to reaping.
Yeah.
And that is something. Now,
It's
not,
like we
not-
never not reap.
Yeah,
it's
that's
going
gonna
to be
be the
hard to break that habit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could certainly do it because, when I competed in the white belt for all those other tournaments, I couldn't reap either. So I just, controlled myself. But when you have the gi on, it's got to be hard
Yeah.
to, like,
It
there's
takes
so
away a
much
whole
going
other
on.
element of your game.
Now, is this something you do or you have to, like, constantly think about not doing, or they never train you to
No,
reap?
I never, like I said, pretty much didn't learn any legs.
Okay.
And I was very much drilled, like with Mark, he runs these competition classes, and the whole point is for you to have it just drilled into your mind how to score points, how to not get points scored on you, all IBJJF. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because when you're in your match, it's such a short amount of time, and you need to stick your points. The points are just obviously so important.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
How long are the matches in IBJJF?
Depends on your belt. For purple belts, they're 7.
Okay.
White belts are 5. I think it's like 5, 6, 7. Brown 8. Black 10.
Okay. What about, like, age divisions, like adult, masters, directors?
It does affect it. Yeah. So
Okay.
like I think Marks are only 5,
Okay.
which I dislike. I like more time, and I feel like he would too. But
Yeah.
Especially in the gi, I would just think you'd want a little bit more time in the gi because it's so much more of a mental and more of a focused. You're not like, jumping all over the place like
Yeah.
in no gi. You're kind of like pinning down. You're
Yeah.
holding position. You're trying to just get through.
I feel like more time is always better.
Yeah. When you roll at the gym, what are your rolls like? 8-minute rounds or?
Mark will usually put 7, usually for me, because I'm usually getting ready for something. And it's kind of like also a happy medium. Like it pushes the white belts and doesn't tire anyone out too much.
So you do 7-minute rounds then?
Yeah.
And how many would you do like in like a night?
It really depends on Mark's mood / what's going on. But
Oh, so you don't get off the mat until Mark tells you get off?
yeah.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
so it'll be like what we do is Monday through Thursday night, 7:15, 7 o'clock we start class formally. He puts us through warm-ups. He puts us through fast drilling, which is kind of like mindless drilling of like reps, getting reps in, and then we'll do maybe 30 minutes of a new technique that he'll teach details about the position, and then we might do like line drill or something where it's like you start in the other person, like positionals. You start here, first person to score, and then you start over, and then we'll roll for like maybe 45 minutes, more or less, and then he'll end class formally. We'll bow out.
Okay, interesting.
Do you have certain training partners you train with all the time, or do you train with everyone in the class?
I definitely have favorites based on size and skill level.
Yeah.
But right now, Mark's really trying to rev up the whole team for like next year. Everybody is encouraged to compete and to come to the competition classes, which is the 7 p.m. class, including the white belts. And he really wants us upper belts to help with that and help the lower belts prepare and be motivated and excited for next year. So I've been working with a lot of white belts. We have like a little group now, like smaller white belt boys that I'm like in charge of, like bossing around and training and
That's
teaching
cool.
them stuff. Yeah.
Do you
it's
like
fun.
teaching?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Do you see this could be something you could possibly do in the future?
Yeah. So I really do I'm just so passionate about the sport in general, and I love helping people. And actually, there's a project that I was offered to do that is still like not confirmed yet, but After School Matters is like a nonprofit like organization that helps kids and teens have something to do outside of school,
Right.
after school or
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
summer. They have already one BJJ program at somebody's academy, like more on the like in the city or on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do one on the north side, and they actually asked me to be considered for instructor position. So I'd be teaching kids jiu-jitsu, or teens, 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday over the summer.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so that I haven't talked about at all and haven't really, like, it's really in the beginning stages, but yeah, that'll be my first big, like, in charge of a program type thing.
Now, would they provide gis for the kids, or is this going to be a no gi? Or?
It's gonna be no gi.
Okay.
I was kind of brainstorming like maybe doing a gi drive or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. But for right now, it's no gi, and the point is, like relating it to life skills for the kids, like confidence, active lifestyle, that kind of thing.
Right.
Self-defense, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm
nice.
really excited actually.
It's really good. I mean, I'm always a fan of giving back, so you know how I stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect way for me to give back to the community. It's going to be higher needs, like impoverished inner city kids. So
Yeah. Well, let me know if you need anything from me. I'm more than willing to help out.
awesome.
Just whatever you guys want.
Awesome,
I'll
I
help you
will.
out. Yeah.
Thank you.
So where's that going to be at?
We're still trying to figure it out, but probably
Location-wise, you're trying
in
to...
one of the high schools, like wrestling rooms.
One of the... Okay, cool.
Like he was saying, like Taft is one of the schools. It's like Portage Park area. So
Right.
yeah, I'm excited. I'll be recruiting for it and promoting it, trying to get as much kids as I can.
Well, let us know when that goes down, and then we'll give you a shout-out on the podcast.
Awesome. That'd be great.
And so what are your goals for 2017?
I was worried you were going to ask that.
Oh, okay.
I did so much this year. I was just
What
go.
What else do you want from her, Paul?
You're right.
geez.
You're right.
So,
I want her to win pens a fifth time.
I wanna try to be more selective this year, like Mark has recommended, and do fewer like things actually, and try to focus on them more, because I didn't ever have a break to develop new things as much as I wanted to. I didn't burn out. I have a lot of energy. I could do that again.
Sure.
But I kind of want to try slowing down and focusing more and winning more things, because I feel like even though I took home a lot of golds this year, percentage-wise, I lost more than I have in the past few years. And
Now, does something like that bother you?
not as much as I wish it did. It's funny. After the 3-week camp, for example, for Worlds, I went to Worlds and I lost my second match. But I had learned so much at that camp and had such an amazing experience. And I knew I'd improved immensely, like in my strategies, like just everything. I couldn't even stop smiling, like after. I wasn't even upset at all.
Yeah.
And then like the competitive side of me is like, you should be more upset about this. Like you went to that camp for a reason. But I'm very intrinsically motivated. It's just hard for me to
Yeah.
Well
be
said.
disappointed.
No, there's nothing wrong
So
with that.
I'm looking to have kind of like a year you had in 2016. Like I want to compete that much, and it was actually kind of inspired by sitting down and chatting with Mark. He's like, just get out there and compete.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I have that mindset though, where I want to do so well. I want to win so bad, and it's like, oh well, I didn't train enough,
Mm-hmm.
or I only made it into the gym like a couple of times a week, or my elbow was messed up and I missed training for 2 weeks, so I didn't really get like even a half decent camp in. So no, I'm not going to go to that tournament. Where like with that mindset, even though like it's a good competitive nature to want to win, it's like I'm also missing out on the opportunity to compete, regardless of the outcome. You know what I mean? That experience is...
You win or you learn. It's not a lose. I never consider anything like a loss in jiu-jitsu. You're always learning. So no matter what, if it's a gym roll, a competition roll, you're learning nonstop. You tap at the gym all the time. It's just you're learning.
As far as your preparation, I've really learned from competing so much this year that every single time my preparation was different. Something was different. Maybe it was some better than others. When I traveled, sometimes I was alone. Sometimes I didn't have anyone to coach me or warm up with me. Sometimes I had a lot of people, and I just don't have the recipe down still. My performances range. Like sometimes I was really happy, sometimes I was really disappointed, and it's hard pinpointing what was necessary and what helped me. And what's nice, or one thing I've learned is like just the mindset. It's like even no matter what your preparation was, it's about just focusing and holding in that moment, holding yourself to, try your absolute best, no matter what the other circumstances.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned from Mark for sure, because he's always been like, so what? Or, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's the attitude.
And there's no reason getting down on yourself.
No. You're doing jiu-jitsu. How could be a bad day? Anytime you're on the mat is a good day.
So do you do any type of like strength and conditioning or anything like that, or do you just do jiu-jitsu for jiu-jitsu?
I don't. I used to more so in college. Now anytime I walk into the gym and I look at the mat, I'm like, okay, I'm lifting weights today. And then there's like people training and I'm like, I can't.
Right, yeah.
I always would rather be, even drilling. Like, I love drilling and learning new things. The Berimbolo or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Berimbolo,
Something
wow.
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. We were
That's
just talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
That's funny. So you like the Berimbolo. So your inversion is pretty good.
It was good until I tore my hamstring or did something. I did something. I never really take off even when I'm injured. It's like probably really stupid, and I don't do this at home.
That's everybody, right?
But I was preparing for my fight to win. I was wrestling. I landed in the splits. Felt big pull. I never got it looked at. It still inhibits my range of motion and hurts me right in my hamstring, like a glute almost. And I couldn't train like basically from that until fight to win.
Oh.
Yeah. It's completely changed my game for now. I think it's healed. Like, I think it'll be fine, but it's right on my inverting leg, like what I used to get underneath people, and people pancake me and put my toes to the mat over my head, and I just like want to cry.
Yeah. Ow.
So I've just changed my game. Like, I've just stopped inverting and done some other stuff.
Yeah.
So for now.
What would you say your game is? Like, what kind of, do you have like a specific path in mind when you walk on the mat?
Yeah. I'd say I like to consider myself a little tricky. I'm real hard to pin down. I'm always very mobile. So obviously, more of a guard player. Even though I've worked on my passing and I'm comfortable on top, I'm definitely a tricky guard player. My goal is always to get to your back. So I like to slip under and get to the back.
Nice. And then, are you guard puller, or do you like throws, takedowns?
I like to sit. Yeah, I'm not good on my feet at all. Like, my balance is bad, and
Well, when you roll with Zito, you guys are you're gonna do a double guard pull.
See, that's the thing. I'm stubborn to the point that and impatient to the point that I'll never sit there. Like, I'm so impatient. If we double guard pull, I'll be like, fine, you play guard. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm usually the smallest guy in the gym. I'm always finding myself on my back, so I just feel so comfortable there that I'm like, all right, let's go, guy.
Yeah.
And I'm usually going to go under and go for a leg or do something like that, or sweep from there.
It's also sometimes annoying. I mean, like, you start in the neutral position, and then it's like after 2 minutes of hand fighting, it's like, okay, here, to take side control.
Right,
Like, can we start rolling now?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I'm impatient like that too.
Yeah.
I just want to go.
So, do you train extensively at New Breed, or do you do any cross training or visit any other schools? Or
I definitely cross train. I have friends all over. I have friends at Valco's downtown. I go to Mineco's. I was going at one point a couple times a week to Mineco's to train with Pierre. They help me get ready for a lot of stuff. But like primarily New Breed, but I do openly cross train. Mark encourages it. He's friends with a lot of the instructors. There's no issue at all, so which I really like. Some gyms are not so open to that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix out there.
yeah,
Mark and I share the same idea about it. Like, people are afraid cross train to like give away their their secrets or help people get an advantage over them. But as far as I'm concerned, watch my footage, whatever. Like, I'm gonna be training hard. It's not gonna be easy for you to avoid what I do just because
Right.
you know what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, and you're going to be a different grappler by the time you step on the mat again. You can watch footage from somebody from 6 months ago. They're not going
Yeah.
to be the same.
I mean, for sure. I mean, when we're training in the gym, even between our own, teammates and stuff, when I catch someone in something or they catch me, we explain, hey, this is why you got caught. Don't let that happen again. I don't want to catch that guy in that.
Every time,
Right.
yeah.
I want him to defend it. So this
Exactly.
way I can figure out how to, beat that
Exactly.
system,
It's all about evolution.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't
So,
want to be catching the same guy with the same move more than twice,
Yeah.
I don't understand like why some people are like that. I mean,
Ego.
It's so much more fun to, like I have this girl, John Gutta is actually engaged to this girl who started training my senior year, and she didn't know anything. Like I every day worked with her. I was like, you're gonna be like a great training partner for me one day. Her name is Claire North. This girl, it can tap me now more than I can tap her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I go visit her, like it's a war. Like she's
Nice.
so good. She's very hardworking and very smart. She's in pharmacy school there, and like you would think, like people always like ask me, like, how can you like be okay with that? I'm like 100% okay with that. I think it's awesome. Like I have 3 years or more of training on her, and she's just a beast. Like
That's great.
One of the best training partners I can have. She's
Right.
still in Iowa, so I go visit them from
So-
time to time.
You're currently a purple belt, but you guys do stripes on your belts. Are you striped at all? Or is there?
Yeah, Mark just gave me 3 stripes
Oh, nice.
after a year and a half of being a purple belt. So
So then you get a 4 stripe, and then after 4 you go brown. Is that how it works? How's
yeah,
it?
it really depends on the instructor. Mark's so unpredictable. Like he loves to surprise, promote people. He gave me my purple 2 weeks before Worlds. 2 weeks before Worlds, not this Worlds, but the one before.
Okay.
He held a belt promotion ceremony. I was like, I'm gonna go support everyone. Like I have Worlds in 2 weeks.
Right.
Bam, purple belt. I had to change my registration.
Oh, really? Yeah. So he really was messing with you.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
placed 3rd that
Great.
year. So I mean, he's unpredictable. He gave Matt Layton and Asher Darmo their 4th stripe on their purple belt. Also, like I think it was 1 year ago, a week before promotions, he was like, I'm gonna stripe you guys up. I'm not giving stripes at the ceremony, so here's your stripes, and then gave them their brown.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
He's sneaky.
Yeah.
So, so you never know with him. I don't care. Like when I get my brown belt, like Matt Layton, like he's one of my best friends and training partners. He always told me, like before he moved to Iowa, by the way, he would always say like it's all practice until black. Black belt is like the ultimate goal, and when you're black belt, that's your jiu-jitsu is. It's not done. You're never done learning and growing, but like that's the epitome of your jiu-jitsu, fully blossomed. So
Yeah.
it's all practice till then. Competing is always going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's hard at purple. It's going to be hard at brown.
Is there less females at brown though?
Definitely,
Less
but-
females at black and.
For sure, but they're better and
Yeah,
more
right.
experienced, and now there's going to be leg locks involved because when you compete at brown in IBJJF, you can knee bar and toe hold.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I think Pete the Greek once said, he goes, yeah, when you get your black belt, you're just a black belt, white belt now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Until you get your 1st degree, and then you're a black belt, blue belt.
Oh
You
wow.
know, and then your 2nd degree, you're black belt, purple belt,
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. That's something else. I'm not really driven by belts.
Yeah. I don't know anyone that is really. I mean, like...
We don't even have belts.
I mean, like,
so.
I know a lot of white belts are, like, really trying to not be white belts anymore. Like, they're really pumped about their blue. And then after
Yeah.
that, really, it just kind of goes away. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, at least I'm not a
I
white belt
did
anymore.
really want my purple before I got it. I wanted it bad because like I said, it's always tough. Like it was tough fighting at blue. There's tough girls, but I wanted the next level. Like fighting at purple at the Worlds was so much fun to me because the level's higher. The
Yeah.
girls know more jiu-jitsu. It's more strategic and like tricky and
Yeah.
more mental, and I really liked that. So
new problems you have to solve, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
More complex guards and
So what is your next competition? What's the next competition coming up? If you're going to be a little bit more selective in 2017.
that's the plan. Anyone who knows me totally does not believe me when I say that. My friends from Iowa are going to do the Abu Dhabi Pro Trials in Orlando. That's the end of January, I want to say. I'll probably go.
Okay.
The Abu Dhabi, the UAEJJ Federation, I like them a lot. They do the Grand Slam, which gives prize money to first, second, and third place.
Right.
And then they do this Abu Dhabi, the Pro Trials for the Worlds. Last year, I did the Pro Trials twice. I placed in my division won my division both times. So I qualified to go to Abu Dhabi, but I did not win the absolute, which is what you have to do to have them pay for you to go, or pay for your trip.
Right.
How many people are in that?
It's growing. It's becoming like the biggest competition for the IBJJF, I'd say.
How do you like that rule set?
It's the exact same rule set. The only difference is that they pay, like they offer prize money to the winners. It's the same.
The Abu Dhabis are the same. Like, I thought it was like submission only for the first.
I think you're thinking of ADCC.
Oh, ADCC. I'm sorry. You're right. ADCC is that submission only.
So, yeah, the sheikh or one of the sheikhs of Abu Dhabi loves jiu-jitsu randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the kids in their schools have to learn it for PE, and they hold this
That's
federation.
awesome.
They give big prize money, too, to the black belts. Big prize money.
Yeah. I mean, whoever wins it gets to basically give privates to the sheik for like insane amount of money.
Yeah, they hire a lot of black belts to go out there and teach.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's so random, though.
Yeah, that's that oil money.
Yeah, if you got it.
One of the
Use it for
richest
jiu-jitsu.
people in the world.
Exactly.
That's right. I just picked up a lottery ticket, so hopefully I'll win that like 85 million.
Yeah.
And I'll be promoting jiu-jitsu to all the schools. Just in Chicago though, right now. Sorry.
So who do you follow? Like who's like your favorite competitor out there?
I don't know. I'm super obsessed with like women's jiu-jitsu and women's MMA. It's funny because like most people, even guys or girls who like to watch it, I feel like they like the men's divisions, but I like almost never watch them. I really like Tammy Musamichi. She's like one of my favorites. She is a super new age style. She's exactly my size. She barambolos and all that tricky stuff. Obviously Mackenzie Dern. Just, I don't know. I like to watch the girls in my division too. I'm a fan of like the purple and brown belts that are really good, like the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What's your division?
Oh, I just meant like my level, like purple.
Oh, okay.
I like to follow like the purples and browns.
Okay. What's your weight though? What do you?
Oh,
what do you
featherweight.
fight? Featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what about any MMA in the future?
No.
No?
Probably not. First of all, I feel like I have just so much to learn and tackle and BJJ.
Right.
I can't even imagine adding like other martial
Strikes
arts.
and all that to it, yeah.
Second of all, I'm not the toughest or like the most aggressive or mean. I don't know how hard I could punch somebody in the face and feel happy about it.
Right.
Choke them out, break their arm, no problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna punch you in the face.
Plus
That's just mean.
your modeling career would go to hell. You're walking around with
Oh,
a
God, it's
broken
so-
nose and a shiner all the time.
I already always have a black eye, and it's
Do
a
you?
problem. Yeah, and I gotta cut. That was bad.
Oh yeah. look
How'd you
at
get that?
Knee to the face.
Nice.
In training. Yeah, I was like turtled up and caught a knee, and that put me out. That actually put me out for the longest.
Stitches on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Looks good. Though.
my mom was
Looks
not
good.
happy.
Definitely gives you street cred.
What'd your mom say about it?
Just like, what did you do to your face? Like, she's like, why? Why this? Why is this what you like?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know, Mom.
So do you promote like to your friends, like girlfriends and stuff like that? Do they, do you try to get them into jiu-jitsu? Do you, promote?
At this point, I really stopped trying that. My friends think they accept me for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Honestly, none of my friends, like, I have a lot of friends outside jiu-jitsu, and it's just like a normal thing, like, oh, Taylor's out of town for another tournament, or Taylor can't eat or come out with us because she's getting late.
Right.
It's just always been like that. Like, in college, I lived with 4 girls. We all shared an apartment for like the whole time, and it was always like that. Like, I'd come home and they'd be like either drinking or like going out, and I'd be like, I can't. So they
What
just
about when you're not competing? Do you do a little bit of partying or no?
I definitely like to be social. Yeah. I'm enjoying eating right now. Like, when I came home for Christmas, I was just literally plate after plate. My family was like, we've never seen you like this. I have to take advantage of it
Yeah.
while I can.
What kind of food you like?
Oh God, I'm Italian, so number one for sure is pasta.
Yeah. Well, pizza wise, what's your favorite pizza in Chicago?
I love Lou Malnati's, obviously, but I'm not picky with my pizza. Like,
No.
I'll always eat pizza.
What about you, Zito? What do you like?
Pizza. I'm a pizza snob a little bit,
Yeah.
So I like.
You're an everything snob, dude.
Maybe a little bit.
You're picky.
I just like, I like really good. I like Pequod's is.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Pequod's
Pequod's
is good. Freddy's Pizza is like
Yeah.
my staple right there.
Oh, yeah.
Cicero. Oh, Freddy's, so good. Man,
I'm a Giordano's guy.
there's nothing wrong with Giordano's.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all.
I think Giordano's was owned by Greeks at one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So that just makes them.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
The Irish guy likes Giordano's.
it's not legit.
But what about sushi? You know sushi?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zito eats sushi every day before class.
It's like
I'm
my-
not kidding.
good.
Every day.
Yeah, I gotta have it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of sushi.
So, I think Misha Tate and Mackenzie Dern I think they're going to be fighting on Chael's promotion.
Oh, really? The
Underground?
Submission Underground, yeah.
End of January?
Yeah.
On that card?
I think so. I think on the January card.
Should be interesting.
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think that's awesome. I didn't even realize Misha Tate retired from fighting from MMA, but like all those top, like the best fighters that are like known for their grappling, like having her against like one of the best female specialists in grappling.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. I think Mackenzie Dern's going to win,
Right.
but Misha's really tough and she's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So, and MMA style, so it should be interesting. I'm excited about that.
Plus, she's going to have the experience of grappling in a cage, you know.
Who, Misha Tate?
Misha will. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Mackenzie Dern's been fighting MMA now. She's got a few fights under
Does
her
she?
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Misha won't have the same grappling IQ, and
Right.
she's gonna make more mistakes that Mackenzie Dern's gonna be able to exploit.
For sure.
But she is really tough and strong, so it'll
Yeah.
be fun to watch. It will be exciting for sure. They're both like, they're not stallers. Like they're
No.
both gonna come after each other.
Right.
So it'll be really exciting.
What do you think about like Gabby Garcia?
What do I think about her?
Yeah.
Nothing in particular.
She's got a couple of fights now too, right?
Yeah.
Under her belt.
MMA.
I didn't see them. I heard they weren't the greatest. I heard that her striking is not that good,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have a lot of people to fight because she's so big.
Yeah. It's true. What about
I mean,
Absolute with you and her?
Yeah,
Absolute one day?
Could you challenge Cyborg?
I don't.
She
They're
should.
friends.
She lost
they're
a
like
ton of
best
weight.
friends. They train together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I follow a lot of people on Instagram. So Gabby Garcia is one, and she's always training with. I don't know what she's saying. She only speaks in Portuguese. So, but she's always on that like Instagram live.
Yeah,
and
she
it's
is.
always. I'm like, what is she saying? I don't know what she's talking about. But
Right.
she does those weird faces. You know, she puts those like. I don't know,
Filters
like
or
those
something?
filters on her face, and she talks in a weird accent. I'm just like, what is this girl's
Yeah.
strange?
Right.
But she's got to have a huge following. Yeah, and then Cyborg's like usually with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your boy Eddie Wineland? Did you watch his most recent fight?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I was. Oh yeah, I was in Iowa. I did watch it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never trained with him or anything, but he does train at New Breed for his MMA, his boxing with Bob, and
Mhm.
and he's scary.
Yeah. Does he? So like, does he wear the gi too, or does he pretty much? No, not at all.
I don't know what he does with Mark, like private wise or whatever, but I don't know if Mark works with him in the gi at all or not. But we have some of our guys, like the gi jiu-jitsu guys, will go do MMA sometimes and like try to grapple him while he like gets to punch them. And
Right.
So, I don't do that, but
No strike-based jiu-jitsu for you? No.
not with Eddie Wine.
For sure, no.
Right.
But he's probably around our weight, right? Or no, he probably walks around a lot heavier. He cuts the 35.
He's not a
35,
big guy. He's bigger than you, or he's bigger than us, but
Right.
he's so like ripped up and just super strong looking.
Yeah.
And really tatted up. Jesus. Dude's got a lot. Like when I saw him on that card, I'm like, man, he's got a lot of new tattoos. Where does he find the time to get all these tattoos? Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
What do you got?
I have one on the back of my neck.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but it's the kanji for jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
The Japanese kanji.
Oh, nice.
In big letters on my neck.
That's the only one you got? Nice. And you actually took time off the mat to get it.
I did. That was a while ago. That was exactly 3 years ago.
Wow.
How long does it take for a tattoo to heal?
I don't know.
Like where you could start rolling on it
I
again?
think I took maybe less than a week off.
Oh, that I thought that was like 3
Mark?
weeks.
Mark
Yeah.
has a big like calf sleeve, and he was training like that day or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah. Oh, because one of our teammates, Michelle, she got a tattoo like the same day came in the gym, and I'm like rolling with her. I'm grabbing her, and she didn't say a word. And then afterwards, she takes off her rash guard. She's got that it's taped up. I'm like, what do you? She's like, I just got a tattoo. I'm like, today? I'm like, really? I'm like, you didn't tell me. I don't know. I thought you had to take time off to let it heal, and then you can't sweat.
I mean, you're supposed to.
Okay.
I don't think it's good for it to get dirty and all that, but
Yeah, I'd be
Wrap
more
it up.
worried about like it like smearing or something. You know, I'd be like, I don't want to mess up my new piece.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got a tattoo because I admire them, and I want to get one. I just don't want to take any time off the mat at all. Not more than I need to.
Right. Well, you got to wait till like your next injury or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you,
right.
like,
There you
miss
go.
a
I
couple
look
weeks.
forward to
Make
it.
it
then.
Yeah.
make it into a positive thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's just hope I don't get injured.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So the return of Ronda Rousey is this weekend. I mean, this podcast isn't going to air for a couple weeks, so let's make predictions.
I don't know. It's hard to predict with her because she's been out for so long.
Right.
And Amanda Nunes is a beast.
Yeah.
Phew. Legit black belt on the ground.
They're promoting
Amanda
the hell
Nunes.
out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I wish that I had been on a podcast, or maybe this one, before she lost to Holly Holm, because I was calling that. And
Oh,
I remember,
really?
I remember I was a huge fan of Holly Holm, and I went to a showing party or whatever for the UFC, and I walked in and I was all cocky and I was like, I will bet anybody that, and nobody believed me. And then when it happened, I was like, I told you soing, everybody.
Yeah.
What made you think that?
I don't know. Because she was kicking everybody in the head, and I was like, there's no way that you can grab somebody that's kicking you in the head. That was my.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, like, Ronda looks really good, like, hitting mitts. And then, when she, we saw a decent amount of her striking when she fought Betch Kohea, and it was just, like, super sloppy. And then it was going in there with Holly. I'm like, that's not good. Like, if you're trying to stand with her,
Yeah.
good luck.
Well, plus she ran at her. Like, just ran at her.
Yeah.
It's weird. So the most bizarre fight I ever saw.
Yeah.
So bizarre. Like, the game plan that was.
Right. But they're saying, like, they're promoting the hell out of it. That, like, the baddest woman on the planet is back. It's like, wait a minute. Isn't that kind of a slap in the face to Amanda? Like,
Yeah.
she's got the belt. What does that make her? The second baddest woman on the
Yeah.
planet
Yeah, it
with
is.
the belt?
It's kind of, yeah.
It's
it's
like,
kinda
the
shitty.
UFC's kind of like,
They're annoying like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
How they choose to promote whatever. I actually was just training in Crystal Lake with Felice Herrig.
Oh, yeah? How's she?
She's good. She has a fight coming up in February. So her coach, Jeff Curran, I've been friends with Felice for a little while. I met her competing at like a U.S. grappling or something like that. And I come out sometimes, and we did some no-gi rounds to kind of help her prepare. And when we were hanging out after in the sauna, she was like talking about that, like how it sucks when the UFC or whatever organization like markets you or whatever, and they want to portray you a certain way, and you have to deal with like that kind of or they portray situations that happen the way they want. And she was on that tough I forget which one
season.
And she was like, obviously just being on a reality show is annoying too in and of itself, but yeah, I couldn't imagine. I'm happy jiu-jitsu is like smaller. Nobody pays attention to it as much.
Right.
Do you want to see it get bigger? Like, do you want to see like its own like reality show, like leading up to like the Worlds or something like that?
I think about that sometimes. I don't know. I guess so. I'd be happy for more opportunities, and sure. I feel like with the good opportunities comes the bad annoyances, but whatever, I guess.
Well, I mean, as a person who competes like you do, I mean, getting paid for your competitions would be great. I mean, allowing you to train more, obviously, and not have to do so many
The growth has been really good in that way, because for most of the super fights, or almost all of them, I was either paid or opportunity to be paid if I won. And at least super fights in like that direction has actually been really good in general. Also, just keep networking and meeting more people, because those kinds of things are different than a tournament where you're like lost in a sea of like a bunch of competitors and you're kind of invisible. So,
what do you think about like Gordon Ryan and his self-promotion and all the stuff that he does? Fan? Not a fan?
Not really a fan.
No,
that's good.
A little too cocky.
I like his jiu-jitsu. I liked his match with
Felipe Pena.
Yeah, that was good. Like, I like his jiu-jitsu. Mark also, I think, might be responsible for my way of thinking like this, but Mark is very like, let your jiu-jitsu do the talking. It's kind of, you end up looking stupid a lot of the time if you talk too much.
Yeah,
that's true. There's nothing wrong with that. Right?
But at the same time, it gets attention, and maybe it gets him opportunities to be a character. So.
I'm sure he gets phone calls every day to compete at this, that, and the other, or come here, or seminars there. It depends if you're willing to come off as a douchebag in exchange for money. You know, so some people are.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Yeah.
Going back to like leading up to your competitions, like something that because I'm like I said, I was getting back into the gi. Like the biggest obstacle is the grips for me. Like that's my biggest obstacle. For persons who are getting in the gi, what is the thing I should be looking out for? Like the first, like what should I be expecting, basically?
Well, what you should look out for, it's good you realize that the grips are, an element of training in the gi. Because a lot of people, when they start to train in the gi, they just ignore it. And then they're frustrated by it when they don't understand that it's a tool you can use as well. So pay attention to it and the details of the grips, and try not to get frustrated when they're used against you, and like pay attention to how they're being used against you, so you can pick things, learn that way. Now
you can't use your thumbs inside the sleeves, correct?
You can't put your four fingers inside the sleeves this way. Right. It has to be outside. Your thumb can be inside. You just can't have your four fingers like inside.
Okay.
Right. Like not the pants or the sleeve, and it's a safety reason, because if it gets twisted up in there, you can like break your fingers worse. So you tuck under and reach, like grab the outside.
But grabbing the belt, grabbing anything is all good. Man, I haven't done gi in so long. I'm just like trying to figure it.
There's a lot of stuff. Like it really is a totally different sport. If you
looking into it, I mean, it is. I mean,
how hard is that transition for you? Like if you're going, if you've been mainly competing in the gi and training in the gi a lot, and then like a no gi tournament or super fight pops up.
I do notice that whatever I'm training at the time, becomes my favorite because, like, so for example, I was getting ready for no-gi pans or my no-gi super fights, and then I'd still come to gi class, and I'd start to be real frustrated in the gi because I'm used to not using it. I'm not sharp with it, but so that's the hardest part, is like switching back and forth. But at this point, for this many years, I don't know, like, it's kind of like I know both. I know things to do in both. Like, I have tools in both, so I like both. Like, I like it kind of refreshes your brain when you switch. It's like you have something different to, like, learn, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Keeps it fresh, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, do you train, is it seasonal for you for the gi and no gi?
Other than the super fights, yes. The IBJJF does their gi tournament majors in the beginning of the year, and then they do their no gi at the end. So
Okay. So then you're training, you follow those training, right? So you're not doing any, currently you're doing what right now? All gi?
well, my last tournament, my last super fight was the EBI one, no gi.
Okay.
Since then, I've been back in the gi, yeah. More so. Mark has one comp class a week that's no gi. So I guess for the most part, I'll do mostly gi, maybe 1 or 2 training sessions a week, no gi, unless I have something specific, like a super fighter, or it's, no gi season.
Yeah.
So super fights, when they call you up, they have you, is this like contract? They have you sign a contract? Nothing like that?
No, it's real
kinda
informal.
Is it really?
Like, for Fight to Win, I applied for that one.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The other ones were all messages on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Just put your name out there and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I did, the first thing I did was the Kokudo. That guy messaged me on Instagram. He had just followed me on Instagram, and he wanted to know if I would do it, and that was the 6-woman invite. What else? Modern Flow, that was just people I knew, like, just from networking. All local Midwest area, but yeah, mostly through social media, which is cool.
You're pretty good at social media, aren't you?
I'm all right at it. I've been neglecting it. Mark was saying I need to, like,
Step it up a
post
little
more.
bit.
Yeah,
Do you have your own like athletes page and stuff?
I do.
Good. Yeah, but no like website, like your
No.
own like website that you maintain or anything like that.
No, I just do the Facebook and the Instagram. I try to post, but I train, like, so much, and I feel I'm like, nobody cares.
Right. That's how I feel. Zito's always yelling at me to be more active on social media. I'm like, who cares?
You know, because we're promoting the podcast as well, so I feel like you know I'm doing a lot of stuff for Grappler Union.
Well,
I'm trying to do stuff for myself, and
I was getting made fun of before we started the podcast.
it's true, you were, yeah. But now you should definitely be doing it just to promote, you know, the podcast and stuff. But you know, I'm managing like all the social media. You know, I'm a lot older than both of you, so I'm not like the best at social media. But since I own a computer company, I should know a little bit about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do my best, but it's like I see people repost stuff so much. I'm like, I've seen that so many times, but then I'm like, should I repost that on Grappler Union because it's so interesting? Because we don't get a lot of followers on Grappler Union for some reason. I don't know why. I follow like everybody. I'm like, can you just follow me back, please? What the fuck? What do I gotta do?
Follow me back, man.
I know I don't post like a lot of crazy stuff, and
I'm never heartbroken like that, man. It's like,
I'm not heartbroken. I just, you know, I'm trying to get the YouTube. Remember when I talked about it last podcast?
Yeah,
I was like,
but
just subscribe to my YouTube channel.
does
please.
anybody do you subscribe to any YouTube channel at all?
I do not.
Okay, right.
But there are
and you
people out there
follow
that do it.
everybody, don't you?
I follow
okay,
everybody,
so how are you expecting anybody? You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Taylor, will you subscribe to our YouTube channel, please?
Absolutely.
Thanks. And tell all your friends.
Sure.
just trying to make this thing work. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard to get your name out there.
Yeah. And like the social media network does great thing. It really does like bring a lot of people together and expose your stuff to everybody. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it can really come in handy.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at like in the future, put on a tournament, like a Grappler Union tournament.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited
That's
about
awesome.
that. Yeah. So, and it's going to be, because I don't do anything like small.
No, Zito goes big all the time.
Yeah. So we're actually looking at picking up some like really good equipment to like film it,
Oh, wow.
post up on YouTube, and keep it like, I kind of like the Studio 540, how they did their 3 super fights there. It was like no time limit, or it was like 1 hour, half hour in the eBay rules. But I'm not sure if we'll do that type of rule set. But I'm super excited to get into that and see what we can put together. Just
Yeah.
like, it's so nice talking to so many jiu-jitsu artists and hearing their ideas, and then being able to like listen back to it and say, oh, remember when, you know, Mark Vives said that, or Andre said this, and then taking their ideas and then maybe saying, okay, well, let's put together our own little tournament and invite all the, you know, Midwest, you know, artists and you know, see what we can do, you know.
Yeah.
Be
That's
fun.
awesome idea.
Yeah, because I think it was Jeff Serafin's episode. He was talking about like, you know, we need more exposure for Midwest grapplers, and you know, it's like rarely do you see a guy from Chicago like on a big show like an EBI or something like that. And he's like, we all need to come together and get behind somebody and kind of promote him, but it's like, who do we get behind? Because every big school has their guy or whatever. So it was kind of like, we were thinking, well, why don't we put together a tournament and film it and have commentary and everything like that, and you know, whoever wins it, you know, it's like, that's the guy we'll push for,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
Guy or girl.
guy or girl, yeah.
Come on now, Paul.
So I mean, but that's one of the benefits to doing this podcast, is we get to sit down with so many people and just kind of like float ideas and learn, you know what I mean? That's my favorite part about this. I mean, like, we didn't start this off because we're like some sort of like air quotes, like jiu-jitsu experts, like, you know, what gives these guys the rights to get a microphone and, you know, start talking about jiu-jitsu? Like, nothing really.
Yeah.
But I've learned so much from doing this, and
Yeah,
I
that's
just
awesome.
love it, you know?
I mean, I've totally changed. Like, when I first started this podcast, like, I'll reiterate this, but I was like, I don't want to do points. I don't like points. And now it's like, wait, I might like that idea now.
Yeah.
I might be like, oh, I can see, especially when it comes to like that gi and seeing the intricate, like, I've been watching a lot of Kyotera and Bruno, and I'm just like, fuck, those guys are just like next level. Like, what they're doing, and it's so much more difficult to do in a gi because of the grips. Like, no gi, yeah, they're flying around. Okay, yeah, because you're not really, but to get a submission in a gi, it's got to feel like nothing else.
It's just there. It slows the game down so much, and it ties you together
Right.
with your partner. So you have to like, you can't really scramble away.
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's really, and how they take the back. My God, that Bruno, you know who I'm talking
Bruno
about?
Malfestine.
Yeah,
he's one of my
Wow.
favorites.
He's just incredible. I mean, he's a rooster weight, and he's just, it's unreal what that guy does.
Yeah,
Check out his
Yeah,
highlight reel.
I will. Yeah, I love watching lightweights. Like, there's just so much action at those lighter weights. You know, even the last EBI with, you know, Gio and Cummings
Yeah.
and the 135ers. I mean, they like brought it like no other show.
Yeah.
You know.
I couldn't imagine like those guys fight like in absolute. Like, oh my God, like those monsters in absolute. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's
Taylor
crazy.
said it's tough on your body.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
You don't want to do too many absolutes.
A lot of like the black belts, like the Mendez brothers, I think don't do them, the absolutes. I think they're like really picky about it because the longevity is important, and people like to say like, oh, well, that's the point of jiu-jitsu. Like, you know, a smaller opponent having now tools to use against a bigger one, but the bigger one has tools too.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like a random person. It's someone who's good at jiu-jitsu.
Yes. Yes.
It's very
It's
true.
someone with the exact same skill set,
Yeah.
except for like 70 pounds of muscle.
They
on you. It's
know
like,
how to use.
Yes, exactly. It does matter.
It does.
It's not just a big guy off the street, you know.
Yeah, like the one when I won the absolute nogi pants, it was a great feeling because in that case, like I fought bigger, stronger girls and I barely pulled off wins. But I think one game changer for me was I did the pro trial absolute for the Abu Dhabi pro trials in New York, and these girls in absolute, I swear, 170 pound, like 6 foot tall girl, and she triangled me. She jumping triangled me. One of my legs was in the triangle. And she still finished the triangle. Like, I was so small and helpless. I was like, this is terrible. I was like,
Your leg was in there?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I was like limping and shaking after that absolute. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing too many of these anymore.
That's brutal.
That needs to be a move. We need to name that move. Triangle when your leg's caught in there
I
too.
don't even know what that is.
Never happened to me before. So.
Let's call it a rectangle.
Yeah.
Right?
Not really a triangle anymore, I guess.
It's not, and you got wrecked. So
Jesus. Yeah, that sounds brutal. Your game for gi, is it? And it's like, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck on this gi.
he's so pumped up about it. dude.
But
I'm all about it.
So your game for the gi. So you sit, right? That's your game. You're not going for the pass. You're not doing that.
I mean,
but in tournaments, isn't that considered like you get a point deducted?
No, not IBJJF.
Oh,
You can
you
pull
don't.
guard. You do have to have a grip. You have to make contact and sit. You can't just sit because I don't know why, but yeah, if you
You
sit,
gotta grab.
yeah, if you sit without contact, then they'll penalize you and you have to stand back up. So you get like a negative advantage. But I or if the girl wants to pull, if I know she's a guard puller, I'll let her pull and I'll
Oh, you
pass.
will?
I won't like insist on the pull or try to beat her necessarily to the pull.
Okay.
I have no problem passing. I just I feel like my guard is better than my passing. So if I can pull, I will.
Okay.
But yeah.
So the Chicago Open, is that something you're going to be doing in April?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one I'm planning on. That's the first one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the one I'm planning on doing.
Plan on doing it too.
Yeah. So will I have enough time between now and then to know enough
What are you
about...
laughing at, Taylor?
She's like, you're going to get killed.
No,
What?
I like love that you guys are so like excited about this.
So will I have enough time to know the rule set or learn enough about the rule set? You know?
I think so. It helps if you have someone in your gym like pounding it in your head, kind of, because like with the little white belts that I'm training with at New Breed, for example, if you decide to pass, if the other person pulled guard and you're gonna pass, and then you decide, this is hard, I want to play guard now, and you sit down and they come up, you've given up 2 points. That counts as a sweep.
Oh, really?
You can't just decide at your own accord that you're gonna sit now. If the one person went from bottom position to top position, they get switched,
Right.
then now they've scored points. So you need to know that if you want to not pass anymore, you can like kind of, if you disengage and you get them to stand back to neutral, now you can pull without giving points up. So when the little white belt boys get frustrated passing and they sit and I come up, I'm like, and I'll yell at them and I'll be like, don't do that.
Right.
Stuff like that.
That's good to know. Wow.
Or like I'll ask them
Awesome.
like, how many points do I have now that I've passed your guard to mount? And
6.
it's
Are you including the takedown?
3 for the guard pass and 4 for the mount.
Okay.
So 7.
So when I watched a lot of the Flow Grappling, I subscribed to Flow Grappling, which is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a lot of these matches. The competitors, doesn't matter, black belt, whatever they are, constantly looking at their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. What is going on there between the coach and that high level black belt? Like Kyle Terra's like looking back and looking for like what's going on. What should I do?
I think he's looking at the score.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he's looking to
The
see if he
time
got
and the
points.
score.
Oh, I
if
think
he got
he's like,
points for
'cause
that.
I hear them yelling
Well,
instructions.
because there's
at
a
him.
lot of near passes and stuff. It's like, okay, did he give me 3 for this? You know
Oh,
what
is
I
that
mean?
right?
Yeah, and they're either looking at the scoreboard.
So if you don't stabilize your position, no matter what, the scoring position, like the takedown, the sweep, the pass, then you only get an advantage, which is like a tiebreaker type of. It doesn't override the points. So if you're down by 4 points, but you're up 10 advantages, you still lose. The
Okay.
points hold more value, but you get an advantage for nearly scoring. As a matter of like a tiebreaker type of score. Because there's points and because there's time limit, the points and the time are very, very important to strategy. You don't want to do something stupid when you're up on points that can result in like you don't want to lose that way.
Right.
So I think that they are probably looking at the scoreboard for that reason. Time is so important when you're coaching someone in a match. IBJJF, you always want to say the time constantly so they know, and say the points, because they might not know that they didn't get points for something that they assumed they had points for.
Okay.
And I think when there's coaching, a lot of the times it's just, even however high level the black belt is, the strategy is like hard sometimes, and sometimes it's not intuitive. Like it takes a lot of outside perspective. But I think that's usually what it is. Like the coach is telling them, like, put him in 50-50, or do something, just like stall now, or like stuff like that. So it's strategic.
Is there, because in the 10 plan system we name a lot of the moves. It's kind of crazy, but is there something like that in gi? Do you guys have like certain names for moves when you're in a match? You're yelling out like, do that thing, or is it just kind of like,
no,
take your hand, grab his belt, grab the back, grab the lapel?
A lot of times it's very direct.
Direct, okay.
Depends on the coach and the coach's style. Like Mark and
You mean
John,
you guys don't have crackhead control?
No. No, we don't make
zombie the arm and honey hole and no, okay.
I've fought 10th Planet girls before. I've heard all that stuff, but no. The only thing I would say, sometimes the coaches will say things more so for the opponent to worry about, or to confuse the opponent, or to entice the ref to view the match a certain way, like he's not working, like, or something to give him a penalty.
Right. So, there's penalties if you
if you stall, you get a penalty.
How do they know when you're stalling?
When you're stalling.
It depends.
You know what I mean? As opposed to like, I'm holding the grip and I'm sitting there, but
you're not advancing the position.
You're not advancing. Like when you're in the mount or the back mount, you can't be called for stalling in those positions.
Okay.
That you're basically allowed to stall there. But for like top of half guard, and you're not, or say you're on the bot, you're playing half guard, you're winning on points, and you're just holding him as hard as you can, and you're clearly holding him.
That's a nice butterfly
got into
grip.
it a little nice what?
Butterfly grip.
Oh yeah.
It's like our logo. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so if it's clear that the person's winning and stalling, they'll give you penalty, and so you get. Now I'm not sure. 2 penalties. If you get a third, the other person gets 2 points.
Okay.
I think there's more to it than that too, but I'm not sure. You get disqualified after a certain amount.
Have you ever been disqualified? No.
I have won matches for a girl accidentally knee barring me and getting DQ'd for it.
It was not legal at that.
No, you can't knee bar or toe hold. You can only do straight ankle locks for below the waist until brown.
Oh, no knee bars.
No.
Blue, purple.
You're gonna get smoked at the Chicago Open, too, though.
Well, straight ankle lock is kind of my thing. So.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Is it harder to do straight ankle lock? Well, do you do straight ankle locks in the gi because of the fabric? Maybe a little. To get that really in there. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking it's a lot more padding.
Well, they hold the lapel to defend it. They'll to keep your upper body from
falling back.
They'll hold the lapel, and that makes it harder.
Sure. But what about like actually getting that in there? And no.
There's no gi around your ankle, really.
I know, but fabric is, I don't know.
I think we're gonna go train with Andre tomorrow.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Can you come and just lay a whooping down on him?
Are you really going there?
Yeah, we're going because he wants to train with the Piahi.
In the morning?
No. I think we're gonna go to a fun
Why are you gonna go in the morning?
Oh, I was just curious. At nighttime or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. That's funny. I called him Pierre, and I hope he misses that because he would be mad. Piahi.
Yeah. When we met him, he's obviously the same size as I am, and I'm like, he's like, that's the type of people I would want to be training with. He's like, his goals are just like, wow.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a world champion.
He knows where he's going.
World champion.
Yeah, he's confident in it.
It's great, and that's the type of people that I like to train with and to elevate my game.
He's great training. He's also a really great teacher.
Yeah, that's what he said. He teaches the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't ask him, and we have to kind of like hit him up, because we're belted under 10th Planet. I'm a blue belt. Paul's purple belt. So gi, would we walk in with a white belt? I don't know.
You're that belt in jiu-jitsu then.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna
As
be
far
like
as I'm concerned, I don't
insulting anyone when we walk in on the mat.
No, I've never heard of that. That's your belt. I mean, you can ask him and you can ask Andre, but I would assume, I mean, it's BJJ.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't want to like
Wear a white
So
belt
you'll
if you
pick it up
want.
pretty quick.
I mean, I don't want to be.
So you haven't trained in the gi at all?
Last time I trained in the gi, I mean, I did a couple seminars, and I went to Alex Embry's open Thanksgiving Day open mat, and I threw the gi on there for
Okay.
about 35 minutes, and I was like, I can't take this because it was really big on me, so I was like,
Oh, God.
really getting stuck in it.
Yeah.
But last time was like the 90s, like
Okay.
1993 to like whatever, a few years there. But it wasn't a real jiu-jitsu gi. They called it a jiu-jitsu gi back in the 90s, but it was like a judo karate gi, which I still have. I showed Javi. I'm like, Javi, is this? He goes, yeah, that's
Right.
like a judo karate gi.
And I trained in the gi for like 2.5 years under Adam Redzovic.
Oh,
I got my
okay.
blue belt under Adam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I quit jiu-jitsu for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I came back with. I started up with Josh at 10th Planet, and I've been with Josh for like 3 years now. So I got my purple under
I
him,
don't like
but
when you
I
say
haven't
quit. I don't like when you say quit. Man. It
I
bothers me. Like sabbatical or something. Say something.
Yeah, my life took a detour, and it didn't
detour.
involve jiu-jitsu
Right,
for
there
4
you go.
years.
That sounds so much
Yeah.
better.
Was
Yeah, but so I haven't put a gi on in like 7
Was
years.
that Redzovic's, where was that?
Lincoln Square.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited to get see if I still.
I just love to train.
remember a few things.
I want to train right now. I'm so I'm so pumped up right now to train jiu-jitsu. I
You
just want
guys
to
need a mat in here.
Oh yeah, we'll get one.
We got a mat on the wall.
Yeah, we're working on some things coming up, and definitely like trying to figure out how we can get a mat so we could do some like training when we do podcasts.
Do we need like a Murphy mat? Like the Murphy
Just
beds
pulls
that
out.
like fall, it goes into the wall, and you could just like pull it and it comes out.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
call that a Murphy
right.
bed or something.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
We need Murphy mats.
Murphy mats.
Like everywhere.
I heard they have something where they like lower from the ceiling. They like drop from the ceiling.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
At some gyms, like, like colleges and stuff.
Okay.
Man, God,
The
There you go,
possibilities.
possibilities all there. Taylor, any sponsors you want to talk about right now?
Just my sponsor BJJ Tees. I do want to thank them for everything they've done for me, especially this year. Always have my back. Subculture kimonos, applied science and conditioning in Chicago. My coaches and Mark Vives, obviously, and
Yeah.
Matt Layton and John Gutta, and all my teammates at New Breed, and so many people help me. I always have like the longest list.
Damn.
But yeah, like all the people at Minecos, PIE, all my friends at Valco's, like everybody. I was always getting ready for tournaments, and everybody is always so like helpful and generous with their time with me. So you guys know who you are.
Nice.
And where can people find you on social media?
You can just search my name for both Instagram and Facebook, Taylor Biagi.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Thanks so much
And,
for having me.
I look forward to. I'm serious. We'll be there tomorrow. So if you want to come out,
Okay.
I would love to. Get a roll in and do a
Awesome.
little
In
training.
the gi?
Sure.
I want to make sure I use all my gi tricks. I'm
Yeah,
going
please do, yeah.
to wrap my belt around your neck.
No problem. I look forward to it.
Maybe after the shout out, Subculture will send you an A0.
Thank you.
After this,
That'd be
yeah.
great. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on another episode, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Grappler Union. Siri, how can our listeners find out more info?
For more information about Grappler Union, you can visit them on the web at grapplerunion.com or follow them on Instagram and on Twitter at Grappler Union. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/Grappler Union. Also be sure to subscribe on iTunes. All episodes are available on the Grappler Union YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Anthony, I really enjoyed the podcast. Can't wait to hear the next one.
Thanks, Siri.